Oh, I've only been here about a month. Well, basically, I am interested in world cultures and societies and history and language in general, which especially I'm interested in this part of the world, in East Asian countries. And I was already in China for about 23 years. So that kind of gave me a base with, I had lots of students who were usually children, and they were usually of Chinese and Korean background. I also had a lot of Japanese friends too. So that all inspired me to move to Japan. And also the second thing is just needed maybe a change in life, to change the environment, to try something new. Well, I'm very interested in connecting with people, especially from other societies and cultures, especially something that's very different from what I'm used to is growing up, or anything new. See, I think it's best that people can learn from other societies and cultures. They can learn the best parts of another society and culture and keep that, not everything. And then in turn, also those things we grew up with in our native culture, some of those we keep and some of those we get rid of also. And I think that makes the perfect society and the perfect people. So I'm interested in foreign language study and history. I like to read history books. I'm interested in philosophy and religion. I like to watch the news, especially world news and current events, music and sports. I like cooking. Restaurants are good. And I like to, if I had more time, I'd like to understand how to use the computer better. And I didn't play tennis lately, but I did study before. So that'd be really cool. But especially hanging out with people who are different and I can learn something from is really rewarding. I think all students could benefit from our lessons as a school and from my lessons. It depends on their approach and their style. I think if a student wants to work hard and have fun, they can get more from their lesson. They can get more out of life. Just like if you put more into your job, you can get more out of it, and it helps the company too. But if you only just want to have fun and talk, you're not going to get as much. So it depends on the student. Well, I think all across the board for all people, it's important. But I think mostly for, I haven't had a lot of Japanese students so far, but knowing a little bit about this part of the world for the last more than 20 years in East Asia, including Chinese and Korean students, I think the most important thing is to make people feel they have value, to make sure they feel they're important, and to make them comfortable and help them gain confidence in their interaction and with their study, and not to make them feel shy, embarrassed, or feel judged in any manner. Try to listen more. So I think it's most important to let them talk as much as they want and express themselves. I think some students use our lessons as a way to try to relax and go low key, and maybe it's a way for them to vent some frustration for themselves too. Possibly. Everybody's different. Well, usually most of my lessons for many years are based off mostly the reading and the vocabulary part of a lesson. And usually, depending on the student's level, usually the topic needs to change, the level of difficulty of the words, the kind of questions I might ask them also needs to change. That's also why it's important too that when teachers exchange notes and when we interview students for the first time, it's very important to get to know the student and what their level is as best as possible. But of course, it's important for the student to be comfortable with the lesson, to be challenged while they're learning. We want the student to be able to achieve something about their goals and dreams, but it's also important, the teacher's role is also to give some direction and to point out some areas the student could focus on and improve in more. So it's not all about just the student, what they want. It's also, the student can discover more about what they also need too in their study. Usually my lessons, of course, based on the reading and vocabulary, it's based off the topic. Okay. And of course, I like to I like to try to make the topic based on the goal of the student, what they're interested in. They usually like the lesson more if they're interested in the topic. And then the other language areas, maybe like a grammar or writing or even additional speaking, could be added depending on what the lesson is. I had an older gentleman, even though I've not been here that long, but I did have one older gentleman that has a different way of thinking than a lot of students I've had so far, and his age and his seems kind of young in his thinking style. But he said I was helping him correct his sentences, and I was translating. He said he wants to be a tour guide for foreign people that come to Japan if he can. So he wants to improve his English level. And I was writing down his sentences, and he said, "Oh no, please don't use the word foreign people." And so his meaning is he doesn't like the word gaikokujin or foreigner. And I thought that was really cool. His meaning is he wants to get closer to people. I believe too. I was really touched by that because I think the word gaikokujin, or Chinese people say wagura, it kind of makes people feel a separation. And when really we want to be closer together, and English language should help us to get closer together as a world. I think depending on what reason you want to study foreign language is most important. If you only want to study a foreign language so you can have fun and get some opportunity to do something, then I think you're not going to get as much out of it. I think if you want to learn language and help that to improve yourself as a person and improve your thinking style and help you know more about the world, then it helps you be better and helps other people around you as well.